Okay, we're joined by Wichita State guard Tyson Etienne. We can take questions for Titan, and we'll start with Mitch Davis, please.
Yeah, how did it feel to be out there playing some March Madness basketball after last year's cancellation of the tournament and everything going on? How did it feel, and how rewarding was it to you guys just to get out there and play the game of basketball in the month of March?
Man, it's just so exciting. I was a freshman last year, and to have our season cut short, I didn't get to experience postseason play. So just to be out here for the first time is an amazing feeling. I'm just so glad I'm able to do it with my teammates and, my organization.
Okay, we'll take the next one from Chris Arnold, please.
Hey, Tyson, two questions. One, what did you guys see differently in the second half of the game compared to the first half? And then two, what was going through your head during that big play at the end that allowed you to get to the free throw line?
To answer your first question, we knew that we had to be more aggressive. We needed to be, more relentless on the defensive end. The first half, they hit a lot of shots. They hit shots the whole game, but, we didn't really apply pressure like we needed to in the first half. Second half, we really anteed it up, made hustle plays, dove on the ground, got more rebounds, got some steals. So, that's what happened. We had to adjust on the defensive end. And to answer your second question, I just had to make a play. I had to get something at the rim. If they slid over again, I'd get a dump down, but I just felt like I needed to go make a play and try and get us a bucket.
Okay, next one we'll go to Taylor Eldridge, please, Wichita Eagle.
Taylor.
Yeah, Tyson, I saw after they called the timeout to try to ice you, you stayed at the line just looking down at the free throw line for a long time. What's going through your head when that was happening?
I was kind of just meditating, even though my eyes was open, just staying present, staying in the moment, knowing that it's just one shot. Because I know what icing does. They try to take you out your rhythm. So that's why I stayed, until they told me I had to leave off the court. I was going to stay the whole time, just to keep myself in that moment. So that's all it was.
The next one from Chris Lilly from KAKE.
Tyson, how big was Morris down the stretch there on defense and what he was able to do? Two incredible defensive plays.
Huge. And he had some offensive buckets that were huge for us too. I mean, that charge is not the first time he's done that. But, I'm glad that, a lot of big men don't want to step in and take a charge. They'd rather go meet it at the rim, try and block it. But, he sacrificed his body for us and he crunch time. That was the play of the game, in my opinion. For him to do that is just a great thing. And, it just represents what soccer basketball is. He makes big plays, and I'm grateful he's my center.
And has he stepped up recently? It seems like in the last two games that you've played that he's had that, from my point of view, that he's stepped up, especially with you guys being short at the center forward position.
I think from pretty much the end of January, like Mo played, he's had a dominant season since January and moving on. He had a couple, tight ones, but he just bounced back and he just, reset himself. I think he's been playing great. We needed him to continue to do that. Obviously, we need to have a force down there. But I feel like he's been doing this. It's not as of recent.
Go back to Chris Arnold, please.
Tyson, you guys had the advantage with the fans in the crowd. They were the six men on the court. How big was that for you guys?
Huge. To look up and, see a bunch of black and yellow is huge, especially at a neutral site, and this is the seasons, the records, whatever you have in the regular season doesn't matter. It's a one-game season. So we need as much as a advantage as we can get. So to have Shocker Nation, in numbers today was huge. And I think that they played a role in our win. It wasn't just us and it wasn't just coaches. Shocker Nation, our fans did an amazing job doing what they do.
Take the last one from Taylor Eldridge, please.
Yeah, Tyson, we've talked all season about winning these close games where sometimes it just doesn't look like you guys are going to pull it out and then just you find a way. That experience, how much does that help in games like this now that you guys have been in so many of them? Just
like I said earlier, you attest what you go through off the court and you apply it on the court. It looked shaky for a long time in that game for us. South Florida had an amazing game. They made shots. They got second chances. But at the end of the day, you have to have the wherewithal to stay present, stay where you are and know that, it's eventually going to shift. If you give up, if you start becoming negative, the energy probably won't come back to you. But if you stay positive and you stay at the grind, you have a good shot at coming out victorious. And I believe we did that.
Tyson, thank you. We'll let you get back to the locker room. Thanks for giving us a few minutes today.
Have a good day, guys.
Okay, we welcome in head coach Isaac Brown from Wichita State. Coach, if you would, we take an opening statement from you, then we'll go to questions.
Just thankful for the win. You know, those guys battled for 40 minutes. We got off to a slow start. I knew that South Florida, we playing with a sense of urgency. Their season was on the line. They made threes at an unbelievable rate tonight, and we couldn't defend them at the three-point line. There was a stretch there in the first half where they went zone, and we didn't execute like we needed to. In the second half, I felt like we executed versus the zone. They were forced to play us man. Tariq Gilbert made some big shots when we were down. We got a big spark from the bench with Craig Porter and Clarence Jackson, and we made some free throws late. And those guys have a knack for just finishing out close games.
Okay, we'll take questions now. Again, just use the raise hand feature in the Zoom, or just drop me a note in chat. We'll start with Chris Lilly from KAKE, please.
Yeah, Coach, what can you say about Morris Udeze's plays on defense there in the last minute? He had a block, and then that charge was, how big was he, and what allowed him, to be in that position to kind of seal the game?
That was big for our defense when your guys on the back line get up and defend at that high level. Morris did a great job of blocking a shot. He did a great job of taking that charge. He did that against UConn back when we played them last year in triple overtime. He stepped up, took a charge, and that sealed the deal. He did a great job tonight of being in the middle and providing help inside.
Go to Taylor Eldridge, please, for the next one.
Yeah, Coach, we've talked all season about, how you guys are just able to pull these games out, and just that experience. How much does that help? I mean, just because you guys have been here, you've faced adversity before, you've had a lot of games like this where it didn't look like it was going to end well, and just find a way to pull it out. Do you feel like that experience helped today?
Without a doubt. I mean, you can blow teams out early on in the season, and then when you get to a close game, you don't know how to close it out. The fact that we've played about 10 to 12 games that were under 5 with 2 minutes to go, I think that experience helps us. Our guards are really good at taking over the ball game late, and then we got guys stepping up, making free throws when we need them, and we needed a big stop right there at the end. And I thought Tariq Gilbert did a great job of turning the kid in the backcourt, and they didn't get a good look at the rim.
Take the next one from Chris Arnold, please, KSNW.
Coach, to beat a team 3 times in one season is pretty tough. Did you guys see a different style of play from USF today?
You know what? They played with a sense of urgency. Their season was on the line, so it was win or go home. And those guys came out, they battled, they competed at a high level. They changed their ball screen coverage. Normally they hedge ball screens. Tonight, they kind of flat hedged them, so we couldn't get any threes off in the first half with guys rolling up. But they played hard. They battled. They made a bunch of threes. They made 7 threes in the first half, and they're normally a team that only makes 7 for the game. So they played like their life was on the line. They really played hard tonight. I'm just so excited that our guys stayed together, even though we got down 11, 12 points and just kept battling. And they battled till we had an opportunity to win it in the end with some late free throws.
We'll go next to Mitch Davis, please.
Coach, 2-part question. First, congratulations on the win. Get into the question here. How did it feel to play a March Madness game? I know it probably feels really good to get out there, play some March Madness. Everybody loves March Madness. And second part of that question, Coach, there's been a lot of talk in the last, 24, 36 hours about possibly canceling these conference tournaments midway through. What is your take on that? And are you a fan of that and ready to get to Indianapolis, or are you just wanting to play this one through all the way to the conference championship game?
First of all, it's just a blessing to be able to play. This COVID is real, man, and anybody on your team can catch it at any time. I'm just so happy with our guys, the way they tried to take care of themselves, and we had no positive COVID tests, so they've done a great job. I just feel if the NCAA decide they want to cancel it, that's what we got to do, because the number one thing, man, you got to be protecting these young people. So if they feel like we can't have an NCAA tournament, we cool with that. I just hope we have the opportunity to play in one, but if they feel they need to cancel it, that's just something we got to do.
We'll go back to Taylor Eldridge, please, for the next one.
Yeah, Coach, down the stretch, you down 1, the last 30 seconds, you give the ball to Tyson. That's who you want. For him not to settle for a jumper, a 3-pointer, to attack the rim. How much did you like to see that? And how much does that kind of speak to his maturity and just understanding, game and time?
That's where he's gotten better at. Early on in the game, we were struggling to score, and Al Tariq made some big shots. He hit 3 threes in a row. So about the 2-minute mark, I wanted to give it to the guy that was hot. So I gave it to Al Tariq. They defended it pretty well. That last possession we had, Tyson is a player of the year in the league. I wanted him to get his hands on the ball, and he did a great job of driving the basketball and picking up a foul. And that's where he's improved. Last year, he was more of a catch and shoot guy. Now he can break you down off the bounce and get his own shot or get a shot for someone else. But he's excellent at the free throw line, and he's one of those guys that you want on the free throw line late in the game.
Okay, we'll take one final question for Coach. We'll go to Mitch Davis, please.
Coach, South Florida started off in that 3-2 zone. You guys kind of stretched them out a little bit, and they went some. And what did you guys do offensively to kind of stretch them out of that zone and make them play you guys man to man?
The first half, they were running a 3-2 zone, and we never got anybody in the middle of the zone. We were just passing around the perimeter. We never got shots. I thought we did a better job in the second half of executing. We had to get the ball below the free throw line, and we did that. I think we got 1 or 2 layups with Clarence Jackson, and once that happened, we started to operate on offense, and we started to get the ball in the hand of some shooters, and we were able to make some shots after we spreaded them out.
Coach, thanks for giving us a few minutes today. Congratulations on the win. We'll see you again tomorrow. Okay, we're joined now by USF coach Brian Gregory. Coach, thanks for giving us a few minutes. If we can just get your thoughts on the game, please, then we'll open up to questions.
Sure. Obviously, disappointed how it ended, but 100% not disappointed with the effort and the fight that our guys showed today from start to finish, and proud of them. Been tough with a lot of adversity and different things that you have to face during the year, and these guys kept fighting to the bitter end, and did a lot of good things today. I think over the last 2 days we've played our best basketball, although shorthanded a little bit. Guys really raised their game and did a lot of good things, and give credit to Wichita State, the reason they won 12 games or whatever they won in the league. Very good team, and we battled them from start to finish, and wish it could have ended differently. Some tough plays there at the end, and you just got to try to fight through them, and unfortunately just not enough time on the clock.
Okay, again, just use the raise hand question feature on the Zoom to get in the queue for questions. We'll start with Will Turner, please.
Coach, I thought Mike Durr was really good today. 13-13, double-double for him. Just, how important was it for him to dominate the Los like he did, to open up the three-point shot?
Well, I think early forced a couple things, and it showed really good maturity in terms of understanding that he was not going to really be able to score on post-ups today because they were trapping the post. He became a little bit more of a facilitator, and obviously because of their attention was able to get to the offensive glass as well. And as the game loosened up a little bit more, then he was able to take advantage and have a couple big post baskets for us. Got him some good looks from the perimeter as well. Obviously made a big one. But again, I think he's proven himself as one of the best big guys in our league in terms of, just the development that he's had over this last 12 months, scoring the basketball around the basket, rebounding, making really good plays. It was good to see that some of the frustration early because of the trapping didn't throw him off his game. He was able to still really impact the game in a positive way.
Take the next one from Mitch Davis, please.
Coach, you guys started the game off doing a heck of a job keeping them out of the low block and out of the middle. Guys started off in the 3-2 zone. Second half, they came out, seemed to really break that 3-2 zone early. What did you see out of their offensive side of things to break that 3-2 zone and get in the middle there?
Well, yeah, actually, in the second half, I think we only played three possessions of the 3-2. They got that one basket right underneath. They drove us. You know, their default is to attack the basket, and they did a really good job of that in the second half. And then when they make a couple threes, you know, now you get stretched a little bit more defensively, and I thought that was big. And then, you know, both those threes that Gilbert hit were kind of in transition, you know, so there was times where we, you know, struggled to make some finishing plays around the basket in the second half. And it's so congested, so much physicality around the basket on some of the shots and rebounds that they were able to come up with those rebounds and push it out and get some transition baskets. I thought that was really a big key in the second half for them. And, you know, we just didn't finish enough plays around the basket or get to the free throw line on those. And when they get stretched, because they really extended their defense and pressured, that's why Mike was able to get the ball in there a little more. We were able to hit some rolls on some ball screens. But then on some drives, you know, it's a 50-50. You got to finish or you got to be able to draw the foul. And unfortunately, we just didn't get enough of those in the second half.
We'll go to Leo Haggerty for the next one, please.
Coach, you go from the thrill of victory to the agony of defeat in less than 24 hours. How do you deal with this now with your players? Because they left it all on the floor today.
Yeah, you know, it's hard. It's hard. And you got, you know, guys that did spill it, you know, and I said, you know, the last 80 minutes of basketball since we got off the pause, that was the best that we have played. Which was a good sign that you know, there was a fight left in our guys and a desire to finish it out on a positive note. Guys are disappointed. You know, it's been a tough stretch, and now we got to figure out with how everything goes in the spring and get them back, and the guys who are coming back to make sure that we're working with them to continue to improve. Because you saw in guys like Rayshawn Williams and Michael Durr and Castaneda and Chaplin, guys who have been in the program now a couple of years, have made a big jump from last year to this year. They need to do the same thing heading into next year.
We'll go back to Will Turner for the next one, please.
Coach, and kind of starting to look towards next year, have you had or began to have any conversations with the three guys that walked on senior day to you know, see what their futures are, whether it be at USF or whether it be at a somewhere else down the road?
Yeah, we decided and had talked to them. We're going to wait till the end of the season to sit down. They got, you know, just like everybody in the country now, you're starting to see it all over the place, a lot of options. And it's good to have options, and we're going to figure out what's the most important thing is what's best for each of those individuals, you know, and go over the options, go over the plus and minuses and the pros and cons of all those. And then we'll tackle it from there. You know, obviously over the last 2 weeks, focus on trying to get as many healthy bodies on the court as possible and to play as well as possible. And then you know, with the season coming to a abrupt end like today, then you move on to the next phase, and that's the spring and those decisions that have to be made.
Time for a couple more. We'll go to Russ Wood, please.
Coach, what were some of the things you told the guys that they can learn from this? Because certainly you came out on fire in that game, led for 35 minutes, and were right there at the end with a chance to win and advance to the semifinals. Yeah,
you know, everything's a learning experience, and obviously this year there's been a lot of them. You know, you have to, you know, as they say, this world, you're going to have tribulations. It's not if, it's when they occur, and you got to respond positively to it. And if the response doesn't provoke the results that you want, then you got to just keep at it. And that's what this team has been able to do. It's been keep at it, keep grinding, keep trying to grit out, you know, whatever we could. And I thought you saw that, you know, today for sure. You don't always understand why you face some of the challenges or some of the roadblocks and obstacles. But you just got to know that they're there to make you better. They're there to mature you. They're there to grow you up and toughen you up. And down the road, you're going to be able to think back on those times that you were able to fight through some stuff, and it's going to make you better down the road.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, we'll take the last one from Leo Haggerty, please.
Coach, you go 32 days without a game. You have maybe 2 or 3 full practices during that time period, and you still get this team into the tournament, win a game, and take the #1 seed down to the wire. Is that the positives you build on?
Yeah, we have to. You have to be able to take a step back, and when you, in totality, you look at what this team has faced, and then we counted it from the day we went on pause to when we tipped it up yesterday. I think it was 57 days. Played 8 games, had 18 practices. Only 4 of those 18 we had 10 scholarship players. So these guys have been through a lot, but they did keep fighting. But you have to build on that. You have to build on that. And I think our guys have done a good job of that. And at the same time, we have to be better. We have to continue to improve, work on some things that are Achilles heels for us in competitive games. And I think, some guys have really improved their free throw shooting. Some guys have really improved their decision making, and we got to continue to mature as a group and have talent, but talent without the discipline that you need to play the games with against high level teams, which this league has. It puts you sets you up for disappointing situations. So that's an area we need to dramatically improve in.
Thank you, Coach. Safe trip home.
You got it, guys. Thank you.
Coach, thanks for your time today. Look forward to doing it again next year.
All right. Thanks. Thank you.